Morning, David. Hope you're doing well. This is chapter 3, and before I dive into the material, guess where I am? This level, I'm going to give it a level 1. This is very, very easy. Just to kickstart this thing. I'm headed to your class in 10 minutes, and so let's dive right in. So chapter 3, question 1. Describe the concept of cognitive dissonance. How do people tend to respond when they experience cognitive dissonance? And then illustrate with an example. So cognitive dissonance is when our thoughts, feelings, and actions are unaligned in our personal lives. Most often, when our thoughts and feelings and our actions don't align with one another. And so people have to change either their thoughts and opinions or change their actions to match one another in order to solve this or respond when it's experienced. And once the dissonant action is taken, more often than not, people will change their thoughts and actions to change their actions, because you can't undo your actions. So one example of this would be, for you, David Sloan, if you were to attend a march or a protest against higher education, that would be pretty dissonant because you are involved in higher education and you are a professor here at Whitworth. And so that would be an example of cognitive dissonance. Next question, the author argues that action changes attitude faster than attitude changes action. Why is this so? So we like our actions to match our thoughts, feelings, and attitudes. There's no dissonance when all three of those things align and they kind of match each other. And so it's difficult after having completed these actions to undo them, kind of like I mentioned before. So we may change our thoughts or opinions instead to match these things. And so when you take an action in a certain direction, if that action doesn't align with your thoughts and feelings, then often we will, instead of changing our actions, we're going to change our thoughts and feelings about those actions. So how do marketers capitalize on this idea that action changes attitude? So they try to get people to act on the product or message before they realize it. Then they align their thoughts and feelings accordingly in order to buy or consider the product more. So an example of this is that example in the book with the flyers, where they they wanted people to sign the flyers and to have a little interview about taking shorter showers. And as a result, they did take shorter showers. That kind of changed their actions as well. By committing these other actions, it kind of changed their thoughts and feelings. And so another example of this that I can think of is maybe sort of Costco samples. If you go get a sample from a product that maybe you don't typically buy or maybe don't have a preference for, but really do like the product, then that action might influence your thoughts or feelings around the product. Costco does this really well. And then in what ways can you encourage your client to use this strategy? I'm assuming we're talking about the clients we'll be working with this semester. So I'll do that first, and then I'll do maybe a more general client in general. So I was thinking for our clients, we involve them more in this process and get them more connected with the process of marketing. So if I give them choices or I get them really involved in this decision-making process, once they act in this direction, then they're more likely to enjoy the process and like the work that we do for them. So that would be helpful. And then to get them to use this strategy, so I'll just use Little Garden Cafe as an example. I would maybe encourage them to serve samples, to come visit campus, and do like a little pop-up here on campus, and then tell people about Little Garden Cafe, how close they are. That might get people more involved or more want to attend more than they would before. And so that was just one idea that I thought. I'm sure there are a lot of others that we'll explore over this semester though. So that's chapter 3. Thank you. I will talk to you later. I will see you in 10 minutes.